My strict religious family in Utah tried to marry me off to an older man through our church, so I left for South Africa. I'm typing this in a mix of fear and nerves. I'm the youngest, 22 of 5 kids. M30, M28, F28, twins, and F25. My parents are heavily religious and we live in Utah. Growing up, everything had to be done perfectly. It didn't matter if it was grades, looks, social activities, or even friends. I'm different from my siblings, as I was never interested in math and science like they were. I've always been the writer, the painter. I remember once when I was 13, I made a painting of a dove in a snowy field and won first place in a competition. I told my parents, who got angry that I had wasted my time with something so worthless when I should have been using the time to study. I still had A's in every class. My mother won't even say more than a few words to me. She always seemed like she hated me, and I don't understand why. My father burned the painting to remind me of what was truly important before taking all of my art supplies until I showed more responsibility with my time. It's been like this as long as I can remember. I worked full-time at McDonald's since I was 15, saving every bit of money I could. My father took half my checks as tithing to help teach me what being an adult was like. I applied to several colleges, but my parents said they would not be helping me with tuition as they did for my siblings, because they thought sending me to college would be a waste of money. So I got angry. I am so tired of being the black sheep just because I like the arts more than math and science. Then I overheard them talking in the middle of the night about the perfect man they'd found who was willing to take me in through our church. I am terrified, so I'm leaving. I've saved up a good amount of money and found a job that lets me work remotely doing freelance design work. I've had my passport since I was a kid because of our family vacations overseas. I'm taking nothing other than a change of clothes, my laptop, and important documents I took out of my father's office. I booked a flight that leaves in 5 hours, and I'm never coming back. I'm not even going to take my phone since I'd need to get a new number anyway. My best friend, God bless her, has been the one booking things and getting everything ready since I couldn't tip off my parents. She's also smuggled some of my more important things I can't take to hold on to for me. She's parking down the street, and I'll leave with my smallest suitcase to meet her. I don't know how they'll take this. I'm terrified they'll find a way to drag me back or track me down. They went to bed over an hour ago, but I'm too anxious to sleep. I don't know if I'll have any updates, but I just hope they don't stop me. Update 1. Wow. So much has been happening lately that it's kept my head spinning. I'll start with the good part of the update before moving on to the less happy bits. I was advised to remove the location destination from my post, so all I will say is that I'm in South Africa right now, and it's amazing. The food is astonishing, and a poster here messaged me to recommend that I try bunny chow, which is authentic curry in a bread bowl. It was phenomenal. I got to chatting with one of the hotel staff. She's about my age, and we really hit it off. She went with me to a local shopping center to get some new and better clothes. At least I'm used to wearing dresses, so that doesn't faze me, and they're very lightweight and breathable compared to a lot of US dress fabrics. She also told me to always shake out my shoes every morning just in case. I've started apartment hunting, and it's well within my budget, super low compared to how sky-high it is in the US. It's honestly jaw-dropping. $81 for a studio apartment with a loft and kitchenette. So yeah, housing won't be an issue, and it is a bit odd to be house shopping for myself when I've always lived with my parents. Now on to the less pleasant bits. I finally opened the emails, deciding it was best to get it over with. My father's email was filled with anger. There is no other way to put it. He said that by leaving irresponsibly like I did, I cost them the friendship of someone they'd planned on introducing to me. He never admitted that it was the 53-year-old they'd basically sold me to. My father stated that because of the social relations that had been damaged and impacted by my actions, I owe them approximately $85,000 in reparations. He also claims that he will be taking me to court if I don't pay it in full within 30 days and return home, as I obviously cannot be trusted. I plan to ignore that, as I believe he is bluffing. He ended his email rant with, "You belong to me, and I won't tolerate such defiance when we've put a roof over your head and taken care of you for your entire life. You were never the child we expected. It's time you make up for your deficiencies. I expect you home within the next 2 weeks." Yeah. My siblings' emails were basically copies of my father's email, admonishing me for throwing the efforts of our parents in their faces before running off like a coward unwilling to face the fallout of my actions. I skimmed them, honestly, before just deleting them. It's nothing I didn't expect. However, my sister-in-law, married to my eldest brother, sent her own email, asking me not to reply as she would be deleting every sign she sent it from her end. She congratulated me on stepping out on my own and getting away from my parents and their demands. She said that she herself hadn't been strong-willed enough to stand up to her parents when they basically betrothed her to my brother, which makes sense, as I remember that they met and then married within 6 months. Even then, I thought that was a bit strange. She pleaded with me not to return and not to reply. That was it. It was a bit unnerving, honestly, as I do believe her, and I'm sad that she is stuck the way she is. The last email was from my best friend. She said that the morning after I flew out, my parents had been on their doorstep demanding to see me. Apparently, they believed I was hiding with her. They refused to leave, screaming for me to stop pretending I wasn't there. It caused enough of a scene that the police were called, but they only talked to my parents briefly and let them leave. It really angered my friend, who wanted them arrested for threats and trespassing. The police only claimed that there wasn't a pattern of behavior that would warrant them being arrested and charged, before just leaving. She didn't know when they realized I wasn't at her house, but they didn't come back, thankfully. However, word has spread of me fleeing the safety of my parents' home, and how they wanted me to return as they were concerned and fearful of what may happen with me out on the streets alone. The church ward has actually done searches of the area trying to find me. I don't know what they'll do from here, but they have no idea I left the country, let alone the state. My friend has no plans to say anything, and neither do I. As far as I'm concerned right now, they can live with that state of wondering for the rest of eternity. I don't think I will renounce my US citizenship, as there may come a day when I need it, and it's better to be safe than sorry. But I fully plan to gain dual citizenship as soon as I am able to. That's it for now. No other parts yet, but if anything changes, I'll let you know. I want to thank you all for your comments and private messages. It feels like I've got friends and family on my side, and I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Truly, thank you, all of you. Update 2. So much advice and support from everyone. I cannot thank you all enough. With all the comments and questions, I thought I'd answer here and explain what's happened since my last post. Ironically, my use of maths instead of just math comes from my mother, who is British and met my father in England when they were 22. So I do come by it naturally, and my siblings say it that way as well. I thank you for drawing my attention to the TikTok videos broadcasting my story. Though why they changed the name, I don't know. I did report them, but we'll have to see if they ever pull the videos down or at least edit them. Second, people questioned why I chose South Africa and Johannesburg of all places because of how dangerous it can be. I do understand the risks, but there is nowhere on this planet that is inherently danger-free. Africa is massive and incredibly diverse. Finding someone would be very difficult, and because those videos got so much attention, I have left Johannesburg sadly. I'm very far, though obviously still in Africa. The area I'm in now is incredibly safe and came highly recommended by several people. Settling here will be very comfortable. My best friend plans to join me around October 9th, and in the meantime, I'm apartment hunting and getting accustomed to the area. My friend has already been to get my stuff and has stored it for me. She will join me here, and I'm glad she will be here for me. My father had a meltdown in church after my departure, leading to a scene where he fought with my mother about how his plans had been ruined. There were even rumors of my mother having an affair with the man they had arranged for me. It's all been a bit of a mess, but I'm trying to ignore it and move on. I am considering getting a tattoo in the future, but I'm concerned that if my father finds me, he might force me to remove it. That's all for now. If anything changes, I'll let you all know. Thanks again for all your support. It means more than I can express.